Welcome, everybody. It is Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You know what that means. It is time for the Daily HiFi Podcast. My name is Chana. Along with me, as always, we've got Mike, the youth man, and we've got Joe from Joe and Tell. What is up, everybody?
Hello. What is happening, man?
It's been a good week. Yeah, like crazy. I always want to say Mike. For some reason, youth man, I always want to say like it takes me back to Tim the Toolman Taylor from that show. And I'm like Mike the youth man Stevens. I guess that'll work.
Yeah, I guess do something.
Today we will talk about guns. Oh, Optimus Vader posting up guns on his IG.
I just sent you a private message here.
Who's that?
On StreamYard.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
What's up? What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
You usually do the introductions. You're the best at that.
Yeah, man. Let's see who's over here. We got BL Swagger. Who else we got in the house? Rick. He's been in here since 6:34 p.m. Good to see you guys. K-Man's in the house. Reginald. SI Services, of course. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. Optimus, Jeff. Good to see you guys.
Fred's up in the house.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
All our
right wave. Very good.
So funny, SI Services, you were asking about, let me go back to where's his comment? There they go.
The lounge.
Yeah, so he says, maybe we could do, actually it's before that. Where was the one before that? Oh, help me out, Chana.
I mean, I would imagine it's higher.
There we go. Wow, I just couldn't get to it. So he says, what about a daily hi-fi lounge for us regulars? So we have to give that some thought. It's definitely, anything's a possibility. And the great thing is, you guys tell us what you want. You tell us what things you like, what you're looking for, and we're always open to suggestions. So we might be able to figure out something, for that. So be on the lookout.
It's a very good idea.
Yeah.
So you can take credit for the idea.
I'm always for community. Anything that we can do to build community and, kind of foster those relationships, man. I'm all for it.
But it'll only be in VR.
Oh, mercy. So speaking of VR, so I've been playing with that this week. The Oculus 2 came in, and I was telling Joe and Chana, I said the one word that kind of comes to mind every time I put it on is just trippy. It's just like it's a trippy experience. You put it on and it's like, whoa, man, this is just crazy. Where technology has taken us and what it allows you to do to be able to interact with people. Of course, to play games and different things. I was able to do a wingsuit, kind of like simulation. So you're basically you're in a 3D environment of somebody that jumped out of a helicopter over the mountains, flying next to the trees, and it's pretty cool, man.
We're planning on getting together and recording a little something in VR. I think we have something funny. We should do that soon, though.
All right, let's figure it out.
Yeah, a little holiday get together. How about that? Thanksgiving get together. Daily hi-fi, guys.
There you go.
It'll be fun.
Get some Oculus. Where's the best place?
I bought it from the website directly from Oculus because they had more in stock than Amazon, but you can get it anywhere. Yeah,
they're all going to be about the same price.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of prices, did you guys see what happened with Vizio OLED? 55-inch, $900.
There you go.
On Best Buy.
It's real OLED, huh?
No, normal price is $1,300, so it's down $500. That's an OLED for under $1,000. That's unheard of.
That's cool. Yeah,
like 3 years ago, you're like, you're high. Get out of here.
Made by LG, of course, right?
Well, the panel's made by LG. Vizio is doing all the processing and stuff like that. So we're still trying to figure out if that's going to be good or not. They're sending me one, so.
And that's where a lot of the differences between like LG and Sony is the processing, right?
Processing. Yeah, and so like with the TVs, it's like the the manufacturers decide to handle things in a different way. Because, okay, so we've got resolution, we've got brightness, and we've got color. So we have to balance all of these things to get the certain, certain look. And then, of course, you have to take into account like motion handling and stuff like that. So each manufacturer gives priority to one thing or another, right?
Yeah.
So Sony's always known for color accuracy. Samsung, totally not. Totally not. They want the TV to look good. So color accuracy, not high on that priority list, which is odd, And then Sony does a great job of motion handling as well. So it's like up in the air. But I had that Sony A8H, and its nit level was like really, really bad, like 640, which I don't even like that. And that was an OLED, and then my OLED, which is supposedly unnaturally bright, was like measured at 850. I mean, we're still under 1,000, but yeah. Anyway, it's there's that cool thing of, well, there's an OLED. I think Vizio could kind of I think they're making a new market segment, the budget OLED. They're making a new market segment with this TV and this pricing, budget OLED. I think that's great.
Right.
Will it be a fantastic TV? That still has to be seen. But I like the way things are going. If I can get an OLED TV for my bedroom that's under $1,000, sign me up.
You're in.
Yeah, and that also is the only TV in the United States that supports HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision. So that's also another thing that they got.
So here's something that I saw today. Pull this up.
What's up, Pote?
Oh yeah, look here. Tenet's going to be ready in, what is it? December I just saw it. Where did it move? Y'all see? There it is. December 16th on 4K. So, oh yeah.
Nice. I think what else has come out? Back to the Future trilogy's come out.
Yeah.
What is it? Lord of the Rings is supposed to come out, right?
Yeah, somebody just mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I saw that. I said that's why I brought it up.
Yeah. Not a whole lot. I'm still looking for Top Gun to come out. I think that's going to be pretty sweet.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I want to see that.
You think they'll have that same song? You think they'll play that same song?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be one of those. I think it's one of those things like when I first saw Transformers, the very first one in the movies, it was the weirdest thing. And I know I'm going to sound like a little weenie, but I got almost like emotional at a certain part because it like literally took me back to my childhood of watching Transformers every single morning right before school. And I think even when I got home, there'd be another like episode or something like that. So I was just engrossed in that. It was just part of who I was. And it was weird. I was like watching this movie and going, why do I even feel this way? And I think Top Gun might even kind of be something similar to that because it's going to have a lot of that nostalgia, So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Randall, if you're right, that would be awesome. Saying
what's that?
It might go direct to streaming in December. That would be
probably.
I'll be happy about that. Yeah.
Gal Gadot.
Tenet Post comes out next month. Now, what is that? What's Tenet Post? What do you mean here, Fred?
Tenet Post. Rocker said Back to the Future in Atmos was awesome. So that's cool.
Okay. Yeah. Optimus says he has the same feeling. I cry.
See, that's a little like I got the end of oh yeah, of course Optimus, right? Look at his photo here.
See, that was gonna be my dream too, to fly.
Okay, let me ask you guys, how many of you guys used to talk into the back of the fan or the front of the fan and try to talk like Optimus Prime?
I am your father.
Yeah,
have you ever done that?
I used to talk into it, but I never tried to be anybody.
Oh.
April for Top Gun. Okay. Yeah, it keeps getting pushed back, but we'll see. I thought it was going to be later this year, but Youth Man is more than meets the eye. Oh, gosh. Oh. Depends on which eye you're looking at or which eye's looking at you.
Oh, and so did that have an effect on your
Yeah, we
Oculus?
asked you.
Okay, so yeah, so that they were asking me about my vision. At first it was really blurry, but I think it was just the positioning of the headset. I did have to put the glass inserts in because that pushes the goggles away from your glasses just a little bit. So I did that, and
Did you see
so
the eye width? Did you notice that
yeah,
there's a
yeah, you can adjust that in 3 different sections. So I adjusted that. Really, what happened is one of my daughters put it on, and just the way she had it, when I put it on now, I was like, oh, okay, I like this, And maybe it's just because I've got it tighter on. Was that youth man just tried putting his tongue through the fan blades? Yeah, that's awesome. I wouldn't put it past me. Yeah, literally, like everything I do when I'm concentrating, my tongue comes out. So if I was playing sports, if I was playing sports like baseball, I'd have my tongue out. If I'm playing tennis, anything, if I'm concentrating, it's like
what? What is it?
I mean, seriously, it's like it's just barely out.
He's like Jordan. He'd be playing pool. He's got his tongue out.
Not like that.
He's golfing. He's got his tongue out.
No, Chana, that's a Miley Cyrus. I was not that. So mine was more like mine was just barely out, but I would just be concentrating. My mom would always tell me, she's like, "Son, you're gonna bite that."
You're like our dog Oliver. See, look.
Oh, there you go.
That's it. And he'd have his face like on the ground, and he'd come up, and there's just like dried tongue and like little rocks and stuff because he was outside just on the tongue. He's walking around.
That's funny.
So like that is that what you're saying?
Rocker says the Mandalorian season 2 episode, 2 large explosions were the most depressing LFE ever.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, what device are you watching it on, man? That could be just that. In my latest video, I was talking about listening to all my tracks on Tidal, but through like Apple TV, and I had to like jack the volume up to get any kind of good signal, and then I just went back to FLAC, and I was just like, whoa, stuff's way louder.
All I know is for Mandalorian watchers, I don't want to have any spoilers, but I'm not a fan of spiders. I'm not into spiders. All right. Who's okay.
Crow said, "What's up with this, man?" No, I did not say that.
Let's see here.
He was out for Miley.
I make one comment, man.
What is going on?
They're all out to get me, man. Regular guy audio.
You guys are awesome.
Mercy.
I watched it on all Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV. I was shocked at the lack of explosion sound.
I'll have to check
it out. Maybe it's just Disney.
Yeah.
It's just Disney Plus. Somebody commented on one of my Disney Plus videos. They're like, I still don't get Atmos from Disney Plus on my Sony TV. I'm like, oh
no.
That's so bad. Yeah.
That's a long time.
So man.
I hope they updated on the new Chromecast with Android TV, I think it's called, because it's capable. It's just not. It's not there. It is on the Shield though, so that's all I care about. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, since you brought up update, like, what do you guys feel about updates? Let's talk about updates. Why not?
Like for anything, like AVR,
are they good? Are they bad?
I'm honestly happy with updates that don't break my stuff. I'm cool with that.
I'm one of those guys. I turn them on. I'm not one of those that, I wait 6 months until it's confirmed that it's, all the bugs have been worked out. But I've never really had any issues, running updates.
So I always turn them off, right?
Yeah.
On what?
On my TV, on the AVR,
everything.
Pretty much everything. I choose to not put auto, and so I went ahead and updated my TV. Right? Yeah, no more Atmos off eARC after that update.
Really?
So,
oh man,
sweet.
Yeah.
And feature. Like. And it goes back to my Sony Trinitron that I had back in, back in the 90s. Like the TV was done when it was released and sold. Like I think and I'm talking with Andrew Edwards often now because he's trying to get his Xbox because he got an early production model, right? His Xbox Series X, and he has a big like 80-inch 8K TV, and it's like broken in the sense that there's no eARC, and it's a 2019. Samsung said that they were going to give an update for that. Still hasn't happened.
Right.
And then he tried 4K 120 Hz with variable refresh rate. The screen goes like crazy. He sent me a video clip. Like it's just broken. Once he turns variable refresh rate off, then everything works. So, and I'm like, I sent him a text. I'm like, LOL, do you think they're going to update that? Like there has to be a whole bunch of people that start complaining about it that own the TVs for them to even think about it. But chances are like,
right.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to work that well, but yeah, that's how that was on my mind when you said update. And yeah,
I like updates that make my stuff better and give me new features.
Sure.
I don't like the ones that mess up my stuff.
Yeah.
But isn't the problem is they'll put out these updates and then it'll work for some people, won't work for others, or like just the fact that there's so many other combinations of setups people might have. Like I've heard after the Sony update for 4K 120 on the Sony X900H, that messed up eARC. So what is it? FOMO said, we are the guinea pigs. If you're buying anything in 2021, TV, AVR, you're a guinea pig. And it's like the companies have, I guess it's because people like us, the companies have stopped putting all this money into R&D. Like, oh, let's just give it to the YouTube reviewers. They'll figure it out. Like this doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay, cool. Right. We got to fix these things. Like, I mean, it's kind of sad in that aspect since, we're supposed to be paying for these products. Like that Marantz that I have. It's what, $2,300? Fucking shit doesn't work. Yeah. Like what?
When it comes to phones and iPads too, when it comes to updates for those, if you ever notice, so they update for the latest one. So if you whatever your old one is doing, it probably doesn't have, definitely doesn't have the new processor and all that stuff that the new one has. So they're updating for the new one, and your old one just keeps getting slower and slower and slower. And I bet if you got your old iPad, right, super old iPad that you can't even use anymore, and if you were to put on the old operating system it had when you bought it and use the apps, you'd be like, oh, this is pretty quick. It's usable. But I have an iPad over here. You can't even browse the web on it anymore. And I'm pretty sure I could browse the web when I got it.
Yep.
So it's just one of those things.
Wow. So I know we're getting closer to Black Friday, but what's interesting is Black Friday even a thing right now,
Yeah. Yeah. My wife and I were just talking about that. Yeah.
All these, number one is, what's going to happen on Black Friday? What is that even going to look like when you go to the mall and there's a line out the door waiting for people to get in just to go to Hollister or American Eagle or whatever. I mean, I'm dead serious, man.
I am lining up. Sign me up for Hollister.
Like we just went up to the mall the other day and there's a line physically. There's about 15 people outside Apple store.
Oh, because of the social distancing.
Yes.
Oh,
so if it's like that now, what in the world is that going to look like on Black Friday when there's, thousands and thousands of people, out shopping? And so I think that's why, and I'm going to throw this, tell you guys to throw this in the chat. Have you scored even already some pre-Black Friday deals? Because a lot of stores are saying, hey, we're launching them now, come get them kind of thing. So I don't know if that's going to impact, if that's just the way they're embracing the whole Black Friday. They're like, hey, let's try to get as much as we can online this year, to help with social distancing.
Yeah, because they've already got Black Friday pricing.
Absolutely. A lot of them are on there. So
TVs for sure, Best Buy, Amazon.
I'm just laughing at the Hollister comment.
Well, whatever.
You know what I mean?
Out of all the stores, although it's fitting. You look at Mike. Yeah, Hollister. But if he'd be like, yeah, man, the line for Hot Topic was so long, I have no idea.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you got to keep all the stores, the Hollister stores, and if there's an Under Armour store, Michael's gonna go crazy.
All right,
He's
so
all about it. He's all about it.
He's in.
it's funny. And God honest truth, the reason why I love both those stores is just the feel of it. Has nothing to do with brand. It's soft, and I always wait till they go on sale. I'm not the guy that's going to spend $60 on a shirt. Like I probably paid, I think this is it's Under Armour polo, and I probably paid $20 for this thing.
And
Is it another youth man deal? Like, are you buying used shirts out there, bro?
Oh, these are brand new.
I do rock vintage from time to time, but
I just get it. You gotta keep the youth man.
Youth man wears Hollister, and he has haircuts of a 10-year-old. What was it?
That was the funniest thing comment I got this week. This guy, he says something about what kind of dude,
what kind of grown man, right?
Yeah, he's like the grown man that has a haircut of a 10-year-old, and I had some fun with that one. Let me see. I'll see if I can find it. I think I screenshot him. Usually when I need to put that in my mean comments video. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like doing those.
I stopped making those.
They're still kind of fun.
They are. I just continually get
skinny
mean
jeans.
All right, here you go.
And skinny jeans. We go to Ross.
Here's what his name is, Mary Lynchian. Okay.
All right, let's go.
Marty. Oh man, my vision's getting sucky. Marty Lynchian, he says, why does this grown man have a 10-year-old boy's haircut? So then I replied to him. I said, the real question is, why is a grown man asking another grown man about his hair? I didn't realize that some guys are into other guys' hair. Hey, whatever floats your boat. And then I tell him why. I said, to answer your question, I said, it's because this grown man has had the same haircut for over 20 years since he lives in Florida where it's hot. And his hair is quite wavy and doesn't lay down. Many years ago, I began growing it out and went to get a haircut to have it styled. And basically the lady was like, I can't do nothing for you. And she cut it all off, so, but I was like, at the end of it, I said, I ended up going back to, what I always had, which was just a shorter haircut. And I said, there's not a lot you can do with this mess, so I keep it short. I said, but thanks for asking. Have a great weekend. I said, good luck with your search on finding someone that has really good hair that meets your approval. So, it's like, oh my goodness, man.
Oh,
go ahead now, baby. All right. I'll come back in just a second. I'm going to say goodbye to my daughter. She's heading back to college.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Handle business.
Yeah, I'll be right
back.
That's funny, man. You got anything new, Shauna? Any new toys? I know I got some new toys. Oh, I guess it's not new. I've been talking about it for the past
which one, Dirac?
Yeah, the NAD.
The NAD. I mean, I'm liking those Martin Logans. Those little bookshelves. I mean, they're not little, but they are kind of little. I mean, they're smaller than a few.
You like them? You really like them, or they're all right?
I like them. I wouldn't say I don't know, for $1,400, they sound good. I had to turn up the bass though, because
$1,400, huh?
Yeah, $1,400 for the pair. But they look great and they sound good, and they mix with the other Martin Logans. So,
$1,400,
and I had to turn up the bass. Bass had to go up to +3. I reran. Oh, you know what's funny? I reran Anthem Room Correction. Actually got a better result this time around on my height channels.
What do you mean by better?
Strange. Better meaning before the graph up at the top end had a big hump, right? A big boost, at the very, very top end. This time it didn't have it. So I don't know what that was. I don't know.
Snoot has a question here.
Yes, 35 XTIs. A video just released today. Yeah, I like them. But in that price range though, you might be able to find something better for a little less money.
$1,500, yeah. What else is around that price range, you think?
Dude, you can get some B&Ws, bookshelves.
Which one, the 700 series?
Or the 600, I think. Or you know what? Maybe
you could
even
probably step up to 700. Right?
700 bookshelf speakers.
Chris Wyndham says, "Have you reviewed the Wharfdales yet?" I'm still testing them out. They're still right there. So Still trying them out, different locations. Got to measure them, but yeah, it's coming soon. Coming up soon. I can tell you, you know, if you're on the fence, I like them. You know, they're $399, so it's hard to.
Yeah, you're right. The 707s are for $1,500. So, you know, there's a lot in that price range. So it's kind of hard to say, like, you know, is it really worth it, or are you better off saving a few hundred and going down?
You can get those Warfield Lintons, bro.
See, you can get something like that, a 3-way design
with stands, I think.
With the stands, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, SI. He said good unboxing. Yeah, try to keep things interesting, you know.
Joe,
a lot of motion.
Oh yeah, so I released my video of the Larson 4s today, and he says they're wild. Yeah, they're very different type of speakers, and you know, Michael Vamos called me, the distributor for that, and he's like, you know, he was concerned because I didn't like really go into the difference between that and Ohm Walsh. I'm like, I don't know about the Ohm Walsh. I just know that people say it. Are those Ohm Walshes? And I don't know about them. But he was just saying those are omnidirectional. They're a completely different design, downward firing driver, not meant to be placed up against the walls. You know, I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know about that. So all I know is these Larson speakers, I like them. That's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And you know, it's funny when like either the manufacturer or like whomever associated with a product you review is like, well, you didn't talk about this enough. Like, well, there's more. And I think they're thinking from their standpoint. We're thinking from it as a consumer standpoint.
Yep, absolutely.
Right? Because
like, what's most important to you guys?
Yeah, the like Rel, they were like, well, you kept on talking about, you know, room correction and output. And so I responded to the guy. I'm like, yeah, well, people shop online. So when they see this $1,700 subwoofer that only goes down to 24, and they're like, well, why would I do that when I can get this $800 subwoofer that goes down to 18? Like, you know, and my video was showing like you know, the amount of air we're moving, that impact will totally take away. You won't even notice that it's not getting down to 18. Like that's the thing. Oh, Randall is
down to 18, bro. What are you talking about? I saw are you getting down to like 20 something hertz? I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, bro.
Randall, no, Randall, I never had the LS50s. I had the KEF R300s, and I didn't like the way they handled bass. There was something not good with that. But again, I was running them full range, you know, trying to watch some movies. So,
yeah, nice. Tiriel says that the shoe will get down to 16 hertz, $600.
See?
It's a good price, real good price.
Juan, I've tried. We know people at Fluence. I tried to get some because, you know, I figured, hey, you know, $600-700 for a 5.0. Let's try it out, see what's up. Yeah, it's all good, Randall. No worries.
I'm trying to get some new foam, not foam, but just some. I reached out to a couple of acoustic panel places, and I found one actually local to me over in Tampa. So it's only like 20 minutes away. And so I reached out to them last night and see if I can get some of their stuff in, because I really like to put some acoustic treatment behind my screen. You know, I've done some in the room, which makes a huge difference, but I just wonder, I just can't help but think that there's got to be a benefit of kind of really deadening behind my speakers, behind my subwoofers, inside that cavity, inside that cabinet. And also, when I want to try some like kind of like the subdued kind of stuff from Orlex.
Yeah, Orlex. I use that stuff a lot.
I just wonder if it would help with, because I've got my whole cabinet rattles with 418s. So I'm wondering if something like that would help kind of decouple. I don't know if it will.
Yeah.
But
it can. I mean, at the same time, like, you know, you got 418s. Like it's like
exactly. You were gonna say something.
Like, I want to have massive amounts of bass, but I don't want it to rattle.
I don't want my neighbors to hear it. You know? People always say that.
I got a question about a screen. So you guys might be able to answer this. Somebody commented today. Does having an acoustically transparent screen take away from like the picture quality as far as going with the regular screen?
I don't know. I don't know so much about the picture quality. You you do
or
lose
the detail, maybe.
you lose a little bit of the top end as far as audio. But the good thing is like Odyssey will easily correct for that. So that's like a non-issue. You do lose a little bit of brightness because think about it, some of that isn't being reflected. It's going through, the weave or the perforation.
Okay.
Just it's not much, but you do lose a little bit of light. But that's why, you've got different gain screens. Some of them are 1.0, which would be kind of like just your standard. And then you've got a 1.2, which would be a little bit more reflective, 1.3 and so forth. But as far as like, I don't see how the screen would lose picture quality.
Okay.
So
just a little bit of brightness, possibly.
So if you're losing some highs, they should call those acoustically translucent.
Yeah.
They're kind of transparent, you mean?
A little bit transparent.
Yeah. It's just a tad bit on the top end. But like I said, Odyssey will easily correct for that and bring it back. So
yeah.
Not a big deal.
Ariel.
Subwoofer.
Yeah, subwoofer question.
What's going on with my review of the OSDs? So I know I've been lagging on it, but it's because they sent me 3 of them, an 8, a 10, and a 12. So that means I have to test 3 things. So that's why it's taking a little bit longer. But yeah, I'm gonna do it all in one video. Cool. I think that's gonna be the next one. So that one, and then my Wharfdale. Pretty sure that's the order I'm gonna do it. All coming up.
I still have an amplifier that I've got to review, man.
Which amplifier is that?
It's the DR3 from Emotiva. Somebody posted on my channel, I think yesterday, and they're like, "Yeah, there must be something wrong with it because he hasn't done the review." No, there's nothing wrong. It's me. We get so much stuff in, guys. I'm serious, man. I mean, Chana showed us, his pile of gear during the HiFi Summit, in the VIP lounge, and it's true. And they're just different stages where sometimes we just have too much. I mean, be honest with you. And then
like months have gone by and the company's like, "Hey, are you making these videos?" Yeah, I made one. I'm working on the second one.
I did the unboxing 8 months ago. So I need to get on the ball. But then part of it is there's certain things to me that are just, I don't know, they're more fun or more exciting to do. And so some of those, I don't know, it's maybe I'm not super excited about an amplifier. I don't know. And
it's hard to test, right?
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes it's just hard to tell the difference between them, except if like the features, right? Yeah. If one's completely broken and not working, all right, well, this is going to be a tough review, but it's easy to point out. But amplifiers are not supposed to change the sound that much. Right. So if it's based on that, it's hard.
Yeah. And maybe that's part of it too. It's like, okay, what do I say in this video? Other than it's a beast. It's a massive amp, huge power. We're talking 450 watts continuous, man. That's incredible.
Maybe your next one should just be how many you could, bench press.
Bench press?
Yeah. How many times do you give out? And then that's the review.
Yeah. BL Swagger said, "I need some youth man cable management." Definitely.
Yeah. Cable. Did you guys see the question about whether they need to put the sub on the floor?
Oh, right. There was like a lofted sub. I mean, I've seen that done in commercial spaces plenty of times. So, I mean, you can do it.
One thing to keep in mind is that, when you're trying to keep a sub, when you're putting up against the wall, the floor is also a boundary, right? So if you were to lift it up, that's going to change the bass.
Correct.
So
it'll sound different for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Just going back to Snoots. So they're sending me the 2 subwoofers from Shane. It's taken them a while. I guess they figured out how to get it to him because they're in another country, right? Arendelle?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're like overseas. So they got it.
Yeah. They're in Europe. Yeah.
But apparently the company that they shipped to him doesn't do pickups. So now they're trying to figure out like this
trying
whole
to figure out how to get to you.
How do they even pick it up from his house? And he doesn't they didn't come on a pallet. So now they're asking him to put it on a pallet. And so it's been a logistical kind of challenge.
Go get the pallet from the back room. You don't have a pallet? Where do you get a pallet?
You do? Shane does. Oh, I got 3 of them in there.
You have, of course,
Dude,
you have pallets.
I've had the JTR subs come in. I've had, golly, there's been like 3 big things. I've had Martin Logan's came on a pallet. I had the SVS. I mean, pretty much everything I
Your
reviewed
seats,
comes on
maybe?
a pallet.
Your seats didn't come on pallet?
Yep, the seats came on a pallet, you know, so I don't keep all of them, but every once in a while I'll just keep one just in case I need to.
Did you see Stanley Cochran's question about power amp? Here we go. I got it right here.
Go ahead.
I am shopping for a 5 or 7 channel amp leaning towards Outlaw or Monolith. Any suggestions? Looking to spend no more than $1,700.
Nice. I think both of them are great companies. I haven't heard any Mono or Outlaw. Chana, you've had some Outlaw, right?
Yeah, I had the Outlaw 5 channel. The smaller one was only $650. They made a newer one. I think it's $700, and they add XLRs to it.
Nice.
And I think Outlaw also updated their website, which is definitely
finally
a good
garbage.
thing.
It was garbage. I ragged them for so many years. Finally,
I think the Monolith 7-channel amp is at $1,500.
Their prices have been going up.
Yeah, because they don't have what do you call it? Yeah, $1,700 for it. I think it was $1,500 earlier. They're having trouble with like parts and stock and stuff like that and production. A lot of companies are, you know.
Rick says check out OSD also, and yeah, I've seen a few people here.
Oh yeah,
who have purchased the OSD one. I think they have some new ones coming out. So yeah, I haven't tested any of those myself, so I can't speak on that. But
so Outlaw Audio has a 7000X. It's a 7-channel amplifier for like right at $1,000.
Yeah, but
it's 130 watts by 7, and so the Monolith would be 200 by 7. What's the price on that, Chana?
The Monolith was $1,750 or something.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean the 7000X. I asked the guys at Outlaw to send me one of those, and they were worried that the Denon was not putting out enough power,
like
through the RCA, preamp power to run it. So that's why they didn't want to send me one.
So here's the 7000X. So it's 130 watts by 7 and 8 ohms.
I'm just laughing here because Reginald says bench test equipment. We don't have any equipment. We're talking about Michael bench pressing them. Just
like physically.
Like physically.
Speaking of that, so we were working out the other night, me and my son and his friend, and so they got this crazy kind of routines we do. It's weird. Instead of doing like just 2 sets of 8 or 3 sets of 8 or 3 sets of 10, it's like 1 set of 10 and then 2 sets of 8 and then 1 set of 5, 1 set of 3, and then 1 set of 1. So I don't know what weight I started off with, but I got up to 205. So I'm on my last set on the 1. So we've done 10, increase the weight, 8, increase the weight, 8, increase the weight, 5, increase the weight, 3, increase the weight. And then we're down to kind of like a max for that last one, but you're already tired. So I did 205 and I'm like, okay. So then I slapped on 225 and I was still able to do it once. So actually I got it 3 times.
So Pops can hang, huh? When it comes to working out?
I try. I mean, I'm not like any beast because my body just isn't going to.
You're not like, I challenge any millennial to a duel.
Hey, you should. Hey, why don't you just use some TRT, bro?
TRT, what's that?
Testosterone replacement therapy. You'd be all jacked. What if one day if comes in all jacked,
all his top half is jacked, his legs are all skinny. Like, what's going on, Mike? It's just a protein shake. It's just a protein shake.
Just the top half. Yeah,
you got it.
Hey, Randall, I really seriously, I think there's some legitimacy to that. Seriously, old man strength, man.
Old man, you're just angry. Yeah. It's called anger. Pent up anger over the years. Frustration.
Damn you kids crashing the car. Oh.
All the time you have to be nice, you know.
My wife is not the kids. Scratch here, pain here, backed into. I'm like, gosh, really another one?
What are we missing here?
I got. There's a couple of questions here. So I mentioned Samsung and the bad eARC. So Hassan, when you say that the Denon and the Samsung TV, the eARC sounds awful, what does that mean? Is it just bad? Is Atmos coming through? And then there was another one about HDMI 2.1 and the Sony. Here it is. Mid guards. Yeah, so I actually had the Sony X900F, and that was a great mid-range price TV at the time. And honestly, you can get a Denon X3600H used for $500. Like, I don't think you need the 3700, especially since it doesn't work. I mean, just save your money and then maybe get the 4700 or 3700 in like a year and a half when it's even less, or when they figure out like what they're gonna do in the newer model, they might drop in price. So
you think they're gonna? You think like the resale? Let's say if they have to replace hardware. You think on the like secondhand market, they're like, this one has already been repaired. This already has the new chip. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe there's just going to be a huge flood of them on eBay, and people you won't even be able to get rid of them for like $600-700. We'll see.
So just a quick question for those of you in the chat: how's the audio on this? Is it dropping out? Hassan says that about every 10 minutes it drops out for a little bit. So it hasn't dropped out on our end that we're.
No. I think that's what he was answering my question.
Oh, okay.
About the eARC and the Samsung and the Denon. Hey, see if you can just go down to regular ARC and not eARC. Maybe there's something wrong there, because I know the Samsung 2019 TVs are having issues with ARC anyway.
Hey, Chana, do you know if that chip, the problem with the chip on the latest Denon Marantz Yamaha, if that affects just normal 4K 120, because like
everything I'm hearing is
dropouts.
HDR.
It's 4K 120 with HDR, yeah.
120 HDR and 8K 60 HDR.
Yeah. All right, because I'll just tell you guys, when you stream on Netflix, right? If you get a dropout, it kicks you out, right? Because of whatever the licensing, whatever it's doing there. And I've noticed. I've been switching back and forth because I have the NAD T778. Never any issues. When I switch to this other one, once in a while, I'll get a little. Well, actually, not once in a while. Like pretty consistently, I'll get
dropouts.
Huh?
I don't ever get dropouts.
Yeah, really? So I've never had that on my 4500, just on this 4700. And so at first, before I had this NAD, I thought it was because my HDMI cable. So that's why I got a new one for Monoprice. But yeah.
Do you have the fiber optic one?
I'm wondering if that's an issue. Remember, Chana, you were saying you had a kind of an issue with the Marantz? What's up?
Yeah.
I haven't had any dropouts yet.
And the only way I knew about it is because my wife was using it for like, she's got a couple of workout apps on the Roku. And so she was trying to go back and forth with the Roku and the Apple TV, and she's like, the same thing's happening. Like, just she'll get a black screen and then she can't follow the stupid workout. And so because of her complaining, I put the Anthem back in, and I told Sound United guys about it, and he's like, just write it up in an email that could have something to do with the chip, but it's not a 4K 120 signal. It's I think it's just a 1080 signal unless you're watching 4K content. So
I would love to hear back. See, maybe we can, kind of aggregate and see if other people are having similar issues. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
I haven't had any issues with the SR8015. I think the only thing is every once in a while when I was trying to connect to like using the Odyssey app, it wouldn't see the receiver. I just had to like turn the receiver off and turn it back on. Is that the Odyssey app?
I could. So I was doing that cable video where I tested it, and I was able to test the cables. And then when I wanted to test eARC, the stupid Marantz app would not see the Marantz AVR. Even if I typed in the IP address, it still wouldn't find it. And I was like, crap. Well, luckily I had this Denon still hanging around.
Most time it worked, but every once in a while I just have to shut it off and turn it back on. And it goes, okay, I see it.
I just got an email from Dave Chai at OSD asking if I wanted to do the test of that 11.3 setup. And I said, Chana wants it. Remember the $899?
Oh, yeah,
that $1,000 one. Yeah.
I said you're the one who requested it, so I just said.
Yeah, because you're wanting to hang them up all in your ceiling and stuff. Go for it, man.
Yeah, you can do it.
Shauna wants in.
I don't want the 11. I don't want all 11. 9 will do. I don't have
I'll
room
tell them to send you more even.
Oh,
put them out on your patio. Put them in the bathtub. You know,
more stuff.
String them in the kitchen. Be awesome.
That's hilarious, man.
Like, see, so like this DPH defo. I don't know. Says my Marantz goes to black screen whenever I go between devices. I have to turn TV off then on. Yeah, that sucks. Like I know I'll get like black screens, and that's what like the newer features in the newer Marantz and like Denons is to like alleviate that. But I think it still happens. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like I was having issues with it. I was like, this is kind of lame.
Do you think that part of that, like I don't have any of those issues, but I run a projector. I wonder if that is any different. And like Joe, you're running a projector. Do you have any of those blackouts?
Sometimes I have to unplug the HDMI cable.
Yeah.
Really?
So I'm not sure because I'm switching out these amps all the time. So, and I just changed out the NVIDIA shield. So, and change out the cable. You don't know what is causing the issue a lot of times.
Too many variables to like narrow down.
Yeah. I'm laughing at this because when I say that you can use the TRT, and then Matt says all of a sudden 10 more children.
Yeah, whatever. They were killing me, man. It was funny. Some funny comments.
So a few things. No, we have not heard about the Beast yet. Maybe you guys have. No,
zero. I'm not even under embargo. It's like I've even tried to pull teeth. You know, like give me something, man. Nothing. They're like, we got nothing. I was okay. So may not see anything. It may not ever come to fruition. So
let's see
it probably will.
Handshake issues during COVID. Get it? HDMI handshake issues.
This is so Dirac entry options. I use a T758 V3, which powers 7 but has processing for 11. That's a steal for that price.
That's awesome. Yeah,
because just for Dirac, if you're just going to use it as a processor, not even for amplification, that's a crazy deal. It doesn't have the cool screen that the T778 has, but you know, for that price, you can't really complain. So I'm hoping to get something from Mini DSP actually. Let me get a DDRC 88A, which is an 8-channel processor, right? So it's a DSP processor that's capable of using Dirac Live and the new Dirac bass management feature. There it is. And the thing is, you can actually use 2 of these and get 16 channels of processing with Dirac. The equivalent would be something like the one from Datasat. And I think that's like, what, $24,000? Right? So you get 2 of these, get Dirac on both of them. Now you have Dirac for 16 channels. So I'm excited to test this out. So we'll see. We're just emailing right now, but that might be something that I'm excited to test out. I've just been amazed with Dirac, to be honest. Yeah. You know, I've been using this T758, doing a few different tests. Like I said before, T778.
Yep.
Yeah, you tricked me over there.
Joe, you got to get it figured out. You did the review, man.
I know. So yeah, I've been testing that thing out. You know,
I click on the NAD review. You're talking about the Larsons. Like what? Come on, get it together, buddy.
I like them both, actually. Those are my new favorite toys. So I tested it out also with just running the speakers, like bypassing the parasound. Not bad. Not as dynamic, right? Yeah. But I never actually had an issue with Denon either. Like I never thought like, this doesn't have enough power.
Yeah.
Just not as dynamic. And same thing, you know, I think the difference being, I think these are using Class D amps versus the Denon uses
they are Class
AB,
D,
so it runs a little bit cooler. A little bit.
You know, it's funny. Everybody's like talks about that, but every Denon I've had, and I don't really have like a huge space.
Yeah.
But they're always like, it's getting hot. I'm like, I don't know. It sounds feels normal to me.
I mean,
that I have right now, warm? The SR8015, even if you're not cranking anything, like just running it, like I had it turned on, I left, came back 30 minutes later, that joker's hot.
This is like a space heater in your theater or something?
It's hot, dude. Yeah.
Okay, so
Every Marantz, every Denon that I've reviewed has had that same issue.
Here, look, you
Now,
need cable risers. That's what you need.
I think it might be a new thing because right now I have the Denon 4500 in the bedroom, right? So I threw that in the bedroom and
Atmos in the bedroom, bro. That's
Yeah.
why you need those 11 little speakers, bro.
Yeah.
wow.
Well, I just
Yeah,
maybe
there you go.
maybe we'll see. I'm gonna hit up Dave again. No, so I'm just running 2.1 in the bedroom, right? And I used to have this a Class D amp, small Class D amp. That was fine for the TV. But I threw this 4500. I'm like, the room is warmer. The room is warmer.
Yeah.
So that's how hot they get. Like,
Wow.
I think there's no doubt. I mean, yours doesn't get hot at all.
I mean, maybe it's because it's like 20 degrees outside and snowing.
Yeah, it's hot.
I mean, and we run the heaters, but like I go and touch it. It's not like hot to the touch.
No,
it's like warm and stuff.
Have you noticed they have fans on the bottom now?
No,
you haven't. Turn that thing over.
Huh?
They have fans.
Oh, I have the
pointing upward.
6500 and I have the Marantz.
My old 4100 didn't have any fans.
Mm-hmm.
Right, 4500. I looked at the bottom. It looks like there's a fan there, and I would assume the same for the 4700H.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Trying to see if I have it nearby.
Sudhindra, I would say, go with what you can afford. The Parasound Halo A31, fantastic. I have the A51 and that thing's nuts. So I have these little bookshelves, right? These Martin Logans. Dude, I'm putting like 400 watts minimum, right? Because if I'm running that thing, so it's 400 watts by 5 channels into 4 ohms. So if I'm only running 2 channels, who knows? They didn't even like rate it for that, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine 450 at the minimum going into these things, and like I'm cranking the bass and the volume, and they're just like chilling. We're chilling. So the Parasound will give you a ton of power. But the Outlaw monoblocks, I think, are only like a couple hundred each. So you get 3 of those. So you're at like $600-700 for 200. What is it? 220 watts per monoblock. The only crappy part about that is, you're gonna have to do like some daisy chaining with your trigger, and then you're gonna take up 2 more power sockets, right? I mean, if you stacked them in a rack, they'd probably be like the size of a regular amplifier.
Yeah.
So go with what you can afford.
I have a question for you guys out there. How important do you think it is for movies, right? For movie watching, to have bass that goes below 20 hertz?
100%.
100%. I tested my system. I know you get down to like silly numbers. I can get down to like 16.
Brown note numbers like 2.
Yeah. I'm getting down to
like
16 and
-5.
I'm like, yeah, that's decent. I'm sure my neighbors don't like it.
And I'm telling you, man, I went from 17 hertz, which is SVS, down to 8 hertz. And, your brain think, like a lot of guys will tell you, they're like, there's not much content down there. Yeah.
That's what she said.
No, there's some bass where you just like,
no, John, that's the 4 children later.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's some bass where there's just you don't even really hear very much. You just hear like, whoa, what is going on in here?
Yeah, it's a matter of like how well your like the sounds of your house shaking is really what it boils down to. And it's funny too, because when I ran like 15 hertz through those rails, like they're playing, right? The windows will rattle behind the second couch, the longer couch. But if we're at 12 hertz, more stuff is shaking in the kitchen. So it's like, it's so weird. And then the windows by the couch aren't shaking. So it's like, I'm like, oh, look, it's hitting 12 hertz. It's shaking over there in the kitchen. Or like, oh, we're at about 15 to 18 hertz if it's shaking the windows at the couch. So it's kind of like, I personally don't need that. I think,
yes, you do.
I think impact.
Treat yourself, Jonna.
Come on, man. You
I'll
showed me
put
some
2
graphs
more.
the other day.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna tweak some settings over here, Chana.
Yeah.
You ever get it?
I'm just putting you on blast because you're my friend.
Yeah.
One day,
we
Challenge
roll.
gonna get to experience some 18s.
You know, because look, you have two 15s in there. You have two 15s in there, and they're like tuned for more music. I would say, right? The rails are more music oriented, right?
Sure.
And so I saw the graphs, and they're like, smooth, but like kind of peaky around what?
Around 50, 45 ish.
30. Yeah, somewhere on there, pretty peaky. I'm like, let's just take that peak, just extend lower. You need to at least get down to 20. I think what were you getting down to? Like 23?
22.
22?
I think I have it here. Hold on.
Yeah, bust that out. I'm just saying.
Miguel says the opening scene of Dark Knight Rises spectacular.
Let's get a scary in there.
I'll tell you what, A Quiet Place, that's sick, dude. That's got some great LFE in it.
Oh, even that very, very first scene where like on the bridge there. That's a scene that I play, and I only play that one scene. Like, oh man, and it's real quick, but it shakes the crap out of everything.
Thanks, Optimus. You're the best, man.
Thank you, Optimus.
Base matters. Yes. Thank you for the super chat.
Your order has been delivered. Xbox Series X. What? Hold on.
Hey, go get it.
And he's out of here, and he's gone.
Heathman was really serious. He'd get 50-inch. Nah, I really don't need. I promise you guys, everything that I experience in my theater room, I'm not lacking anything in the bass. Now it finally goes as deep as I could ever want it. And I definitely don't have any issues with output. So having full.
What I thought was
delivery.
Yeah. You know what I thought was interesting, Michael, was what we were talking about before this, which is we were talking about Dirac and what it did with the bass, because the new version does have bass management, and how your friend, he logged into your computer and did it remotely, right? But how long was he working on that? So kind of explain that.
Yeah, it was literally about 4 hours to dial in with Dirac, and he knows what he's doing. And part of it was I was moving subwoofers, so we would try it. He would say, push them all the way to the wall. We would run RAW, pull it away from the wall, RAW. Now let's turn them sideways, RAW. So we would calibrate and kind of figure out what's the best setting there. Once we got all that tweaked, then we would, run the rest of the, like the EQ and do what do you call it? The house curve. And Dirac kind of does that for you. So the good thing is that part was pretty automatic, especially with the bass module. You just turn it on and it was like, oh, okay, sweet. And it sounded awesome. I didn't hear a huge difference with Dirac, but what we were talking about is maybe because I had already dialed in that bass so well with the mini DSP, but just to think that Dirac kind of did that automatically is pretty cool. You know, like we didn't have to time a line. We didn't have to do this. We didn't have to do that. It just kind of did it. So that's pretty sweet. So maybe if I would have came from just an AVR to Dirac, maybe that would have been a bigger difference. And that's what you're experiencing, Joe. Stanley Cox, appreciate it, bro.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
That's
the love.
amazing. That's crazy.
Stanley, you are out of control, bro. Yeah, the two last, so you know what happened? Okay, so something that's very interesting. So YouTube is actually monitoring the live stream, because I did the live stream from for the HiFi Summit only on YouTube and not through Restream. And if I have the YouTube dashboard, the live dashboard up, it's actually saying it's checking the stream for copyrighted content. So somewhere in the, like 2 hours, then it'll start cutting things off. Be like, oh, this song that you played 5 minutes ago, you shouldn't have played. And so it'll cut off like the current stream. So Stanley, if you are subscribed on Twitch, which usually costs money, but if you have a Amazon Prime account, it's free. And you get a link to the unblocked stream, which I upload to Vimeo. So since you tossed in such a generous super chat, I'm just going to go ahead and toss the link into here for 11/7. And JB, if he's in the house, JB did the track listing for me. You know what's funny about the track list that he does? He literally just looks at my screen on the DJ thing and gets the track name. And I was just like, man, you know, I can't believe you can like see all that. That's crazy.
Thanks again for that. That's an amazing super chat.
Absolutely, appreciate that.
Croson asks, he's looking forward to the 88A mini DSP. It would be amazing to be able to bring features into 5K plus pre-pros to low-end pre-out receivers. And that's true, because you can have, you know, that $700 Denon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to use Odyssey, you can just get one of those, use the pre-outs, and go out to your power amp. And now you have, you know, an amazing system. I like what Dirac is. Dirac, I don't know how to say it. Dirac.
I think I said Dirac originally, but I think it's Dirac. Like D.
Dirac. All right. It's your fault. I'm saying Dirac now.
Hey, I messed it up in the video. I'm like, I don't know if it's Dirac, Dirac,
Dirac.
Alvin question here says, Youth Man, just ordered my mini DSP after watching your game changer video and Stephen Dew's tutorial. Very cool. Actually, I don't think it's Stephen Dew. It was Stephen Dew is Scrappy Dew in the Clips Owners Forum. It's Stephen Smith is his last name. But yeah, I know who you're talking about with Home Theater Gurus. He does a great job on that. It's like an 1.5-hour video. So
all right. So Chana, you have your screen up here. Let's take a look. What are we looking at here?
So this is the what happened?
Whoa.
Did it go away? Oh. All right, curve viewer, subwoofer. Okay, so this is the base measurement right here. What you wanted to see, right?
That doesn't look musical to me.
It's kind of peaky.
That looks like a big old peak, man.
Yeah, so the target curve is this, and then so this brown line here is what it the end result with Arc Genesis. Yeah.
So my question to you before was like, so first of all, you have two of these.
Yeah.
And you said that you're not maxing them out, like they're not even getting close to their X.
They are not. Yeah, they're not getting close to any kind of excursion at all. And power. And the power is there, man. Like at midnight, and I don't have them at midnight, meaning the volume is at, you know, straight up. Yeah, they're usually at, like, I'd say between 10 o'clock and between like 9 and 10:30 maybe, like halfway between 10 and 11. But yeah, like dude from Rel was like, wait till you put it up to 3 o'clock. I'm like, you out of your mind? I don't want to break these windows in my house. Like it's so violent already at midnight that like going higher than that, like I wouldn't want to even I wouldn't want to go there. So yes, Randall, these are the Rels, and you know this is where it's
8s, right?
What's up? Yeah, 1508. And what is this curve viewer?
See, I would want to, if it were me, if you have so much overhead, right? Yeah, headroom.
Yeah,
you have so much headroom. Top end. I would just take that curve, and I would want to just like, you see where it crosses
push it out
over
this way.
20. No, you see where it says like.
Yeah, 20.
It's hard to see the numbers here, but like
20. This is 20 right here.
I just want to make a straight line across. If you have enough headroom to do that, I want to just take that. You know, look down below, down to where the red line is at the very far left. Far left, down. Yeah, I want to just make a straight line
to the right.
That's what I would want. Boom. You know.
So basically, what that does is now your 20 hertz is the same volume as your 50 hertz, same volume as your 80 hertz. So it's a flat frequency response.
If it can handle it, you know, because that's going to require a lot more power and excursion. So you don't want to hit limits here. But I'm sure your 1508 probably has protection. It won't allow you to blow it up anyway.
Speaking of rails, look at here. Randall said he found a near Youth Man deal on a rail S812 last week. Should be on the way. Awesome, man. Congratulations. I'm not familiar with the S812. I'm going to pull it up here.
Crow Sound, to answer your question, it was a calibrated mic that Anthem sends with their AVRs. So you got to put in like the serial number and stuff.
Dude, check this one out. One thing I do love about Rel, man, they make some beautiful subs. So $3,000 subwoofer. So If you got a youth man deal, probably about 700. So a near youth man deal, I'm thinking you got it for 1,500. That's awesome. That's a really, really sharp look. That looks great.
I mean, I'll tell you guys this right now. I hate anything gloss black. Just, I hate it. I hate it. And with like dogs and like, you know, me moving things around so much, it's like, do I really want to break out towels every single time I need to move the speaker or subwoofer? Like,
I got to the point to where on my SVS PV16s, I didn't even dust them. I'm like, it's kind of a pain. The bad thing too is you end up starting getting scratches on it. Even just the dust, when you start cleaning it, it does start to kind of make these little swirls and stuff. So it's like,
yeah.
But they look, I think they look fantastic at first, but
when they're behind the screen, you're good, right? You can't see them, right?
Well, yeah, but I still like to show people when you come over, I'm not going to say, I got 418s back there.
Trust me.
I want you to see them.
Well, like with having it in your living room, everything's shining off of it. The light from the TV, the light from here, the light from there. Like I always get distracted because SVS first sent me gloss black height channels. So I got these two up in the front that are always like shining shit left and right. And I'm just like, what is that? I'm like, it's you. Why are you doing this to me now?
Crazy thing.
Go crazy.
When I bought them in the piano black, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I love them. They're gorgeous. My projector, talking about that light seeping through, my projector would actually reflect back on the gloss black. I'm like, dang, that's a little distracting, you know.
Did you see what Randall says?
It
comes with gloves and it has built-in stainless handles to move it so you don't touch the gloss finish. It's a good idea for sure.
Yeah, I saw the handles on there. It looks great, man.
I says a 3-year-old in gloss don't go well together. No, not at all.
So Don is asking, how are you using ARC with the rels?
I'm just using the standard room correction with it. So if I mean this is all of them, you know. Actually this is not the one I ran a few days ago.
So you're not tweaking the curve. It's just like, here's the curve and then
This is what it's doing. Yeah.
I just feel like these guys. So when I talked to Odyssey, I talked to Jeff Clark at Odyssey for a good 2 hours the other day. And I was just talking to him about, you know, how a lot of these room corrections, they just really play it safe, right? So they try to find out they don't know what your sub is. They don't want to blow up your sub either. Right. Yeah. So even though they could correct the sub and allow it to extend out much further, and maybe your sub can totally handle it, they don't know that that's the truth. It could be that it could handle it, or maybe it can't, but they're not going to try to mess up your stuff. That might be an issue for them, right? Like, hey, Odyssey's blowing up my subs. That's not a good thing. But if you know that you have the capability to extend the bass further, then maybe that's your call. So maybe we should try it out.
Are you saying that they're trying to make it like they nerf the subwoofer in Odysseys to make it easier for the average person to not mess up their equipment?
Not that they nerf. I wouldn't say nerf. It's like, let's say if you have a car that's pretty powerful, right? Powerful engine, and you can run it in 4th gear and it's just cruising, you know. Or you can get it all the way down to 1st, but like if you go to 1st, you might blow up the engine. You know, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to go 100 miles an hour in 1st gear.
Yeah, you don't want to do all that. They don't know what it's capable of. They don't know what your red line is, right? So, but we do. We kind of have an idea. You're telling me that sub's it's doing this with ease, no problem. So now I think we can extend the bass out further. And we'll just keep checking on the sub, make sure that it sounds okay. It's not making weird noises. Smoke's not coming out. You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't. We'll try it out. Whenever you want to try it out, we'll get it down to those crazy lows.
You know, when I was making that rail video, my wife was so pissed. Like, it was just funny. She's like, She comes out of the bedroom. She's like, "Are you almost done?" just like it's just shaking the whole house. She's like, "This has been nonstop shaking for an hour." I'm like, "Give me another 45 minutes." I'm like, "You're lucky I didn't bring the synthesizer up here. Otherwise, I too would be like nauseous."
Here's a question for you, Michael.
Yeah.
Regarding what Shauna was saying, what is more disturbing if you're playing test tones or playing bass that's super low, like those, single digit numbers, or like 50 hertz or 80 hertz?
Single digits. Yeah.
Those are more disturbing.
Yeah. Because that's when everything in your house starts shaking. Like your door physically is shaking.
Even
I've
at
never
the same volume.
Not that like a 50 hertz, bass hit won't shake your house.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll just hear it more.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to hear it versus you're going to see the effects in your house more with lower frequencies.
Huh.
But I mean, like majority of music, I'd say the best sounding bass is probably between 50 and 65 or 70 hertz.
That's like that kick in the chest,
Yeah.
That's the one that you really feel. So
I forgot who it was up here, but they were saying that maybe it's time for you to get BEQ, Michael.
Yeah, man, they've been trying to get me on BEQ for at least 6 months, at least. So, yeah. And the funny thing is, I mean, yeah, maybe it does take it to a whole new level, but man, I'm at a level now where I'm just grinning ear to ear. So it's like, what did it say? Our Michael's subwoofers, what? Still behind the screen after REW. Yep. Still leaving there.
Rel specs say minus 6 dB at 21. Yeah, that's kind of minus 6 dB is kind of weird. That means like, what are they at minus 3?
Yeah. Anyway. Going back to what AA says real quick. So yeah, I leave them behind the screen. Now, is that the best position in my room? I literally only have probably one other possible position to put one subwoofer, and that is if you're looking at the screen, the back, like if you're in the back row, all the way to the left in the corner. So that's really the only spot I've got. Everything else would just be in the way. I could put it in front of my front seats on the wall, but it's in between the front seat and the cabinet, and it just looks odd and out of place. And so my whole goal was I wanted everything behind the screen, but I also wanted easy access to be able to show that either using lighting, which I can do, or lift up the screen very easily. So kind of had the best of both worlds. But I've got it at a point now. It took mini DSP to get it there, but I've got it at a point now where I've got flat frequency response down to 8 hertz, ridiculous output, and so I don't need to move it anywhere else. But yeah, so I still keep them behind the screen.
There's a question about getting some. Oh, FOMO just got back to me.
Oh, what is that?
He said, "Sure."
Oh, okay. So you want to be on?
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. Let's see. I said like maybe next Monday. He's like, "What day?" How about next Monday?
That's funny.
What day is that?
Yeah, just let me know if you hear back from him. I'll put him on the calendar. Cool.
Don has 4 of the 1508s.
Damn.
Nice. That's why he's asking him how he has ARC.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I just have it. It's just daisy chain too, so it's just single output from the AVR into one sub, out to the other sub. I am not running 2 separate, like a left channel and a right channel kind of thing. I don't even know if Arc Genesis applies anything to that, because there's only one subwoofer that it tests for when it runs a tone. And Joe Chana, I think you guys would be impressed if you ever get to test out HSU.
Yeah,
especially at the price point. Yeah.
I've talked to Dr. Shu in person. I'm like, hey, I have a channel. Would you like me to review your subs? He's like, no, thanks. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to buy any subs. I just have too many. Not even crickets. He just said nope.
He said no.
Like, I reached out to him like exactly. Them and Rhythmic. I reached out to both of them, but my channel was a little bit smaller. So I just figure if they're interested, they'll call us.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, I think he has enough people that are saying that they love their shoe subs, so maybe he doesn't need to do that. So that's fine. No problem. I'm happy that he said no. Some people are like, maybe, email me 20 times and then I'll say no. Like he just said, no, thank you. I'm like, all right, cool.
I mean, I was supposed to have a call with this guy from Live View today, like, for the live streaming, what is it called? The bonding, the cellular bonding. I was going to be like, yeah, send it over. I'll try it out on streams and then make a video about it for you guys. But, there's no way I can spend $2,000 on that right now.
Yeah. So Juana's mentioned this here twice, so we'll go ahead and address it. So his wife enjoys the podcast. Thank you very much, Miss Hernandez. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of females. I know Joe's wife pops in here, and Angela supports us, and your wife, so that's awesome. I don't know. I mean, there's not a lot. I know I look at my analytics. I've got like 2% that are females.
What's funny? My wife is starting to get all like into it. She's like, because now she's at home, right? Normally she'd be at work and I'd be blasting music or movies and stuff like that. So I'm playing the Martin Logans, the 35 XTIs, and she's in the kitchen. She's like, "Are these new speed?" This is like sometime last week. I was like, "Yeah, these are the new ones I got to review." And she's like, "They don't sound good." I'm like, "Oh, you're an expert now." And I'm like, come sit over here. And then she comes and sits down. She's like, "Oh, that sounds totally different." I'm like, "Yeah." There you go. Like, because everything's aiming, like, let's say this direction and she's over here. So it doesn't really sound good in the kitchen. But it's pretty funny though. And like TVs, I'll swap them out in the bedroom. She's like, "This TV picture doesn't look as good as the one in the living room, but I like this Roku thing." So, it's good to get like some random feedback from her, but
I think
she's not.
Guys are more like into like just tinkering with technology in general, right? I think that's safe to say that that's more likely to happen, right?
Even in like the tech world, I mean, you've got your like iJustines, but there's not a lot of them. The vast majority are your Andrew Edwards and Linus. And
I think it just depends. Like if we had like a beautiful woman on our podcast, I think they like to watch other women. They see 3 dudes here talking about all the stuff that we talk about. Like, nope, not for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a cyclical thing.
But it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
And when I start taking that TLM, when I start taking that, maybe we'll get more.
The TRT. You will get. Guarantee we're gonna get less. You get all jacked up like that, you're gonna get less. And be like, I don't like this guy. Right now, you got the nice guy vibe. If you get all jacked and scary, you'd be like, nope.
No, I'm super nice, man. I'm nice to my haters. So
Angela said we need male booth babes on the show.
I'm right here.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Too much. That's too much. Yeah. Reviewing sex toys. All right, so
this thing gets down to 20 hertz, or
shakes the whole everything. So FOMO can't make it next week, so we're thinking the 23rd. So FOMO will be on the show on the 23rd.
All right, I'll go ahead and add it.
And who was somebody here made the recommendation that we have him on? So
3rd podcast calendar, November 23rd. Okay, cool. Got him added. Mo.
HiFi Chippendales, please.
Mercy. Sketchy.
Oh my goodness, yes. Wow.
Yo, booth babe here. We got Mr. Incredible in here.
John Peterson. There you go.
Mr. Incredible.
Oh, mercy. It's getting bad, man. We're getting way.
All right.
Okay. This is worse than it's getting worse than political talk.
Yeah.
Let's take do you want to take a phone call before we finish up?
Sure. I mean, let me see let me see here. I'm always.
Or you tell me you're ready before I put the number up. Youth Man says, "Don't hate me because you ain't me."
So- Oh goodness.
Let's try.
You know who's stoked and doesn't know they're stoked right now?
Who?
Was that?
My teenager. You
Yeah.
know why?
Was that?
Because this Xbox pre-order just arrived.
Did it? Awesome.
That's what I ran out and said, because I looked at my email and I was like,
Say that.
Xbox delivered. What? I didn't even get a tracking number.
So here's the funny thing. I told my son about that. I'm like, there are people getting these, and he's like, no, they're just reviewers. I'm like, no, I'm serious. They're sending them out.
Yep.
He's like, no. Yeah. So I'll tell him you got yours tonight.
Yeah.
He'll be like, what? That's you got the S or the X?
I got him the S. He wanted the S for his birthday. So, and it was crap too, because like I was on 3 websites. So was my wife trying to get the S. And then I went to Walmart, boom, got it. And then went back to Walmart to get the X, and that was sold out. So I was like, oh, I guess
triple X.
Boom, boom. Well, I have 3 Xbox One X's right now. So technically, yes, I do have the triple X. I'll probably get rid of 2 of them and pick up 2 Series X's. I don't think I need a travel Series X. No, I think my travel X. I think having 1 travel Xbox is more than enough. But,
RGA is saying extreme massagers. I think he's still on that thing about the toys. He's talking about like new type of portable bass shakers or something.
Yeah, he's gonna have a different type of dreams tonight.
All right, so let's try the call. Throw the number up. Let's take a call and then that's it.
All right, number is up. The old good old 818, and I used to be 818. Oh, look at that.
What's that?
Ike, you're hilarious, man. I love it.
What is it? Yeah.
I gotta have my X's in pairs. Dude.
That's exactly why there's no ladies on here. That stuff right there, man.
What about Andrew Robinson? Oh, that might be a good idea.
I'll hit him up.
Yeah, hit him up. What happened? Did somebody call?
No.
I thought I heard your ringtone or whatever it is.
What's up, El Jefe?
El Jefe is in the house.
What's up, Chico? Yep. There we go. We got it. You guys hear this?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey. Since nobody else is calling.
Yeah, who's this?
This is Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Matt Buckmaster. You see me in the chat there.
Oh yeah, man. What's up, dude?
I can. So I can barely hear you. You're all muffled, but that's okay. Okay, so technical question here. I have a mini DSP that is feeding my 2 M&K subwoofers and my bass shakers in the couch. Now, theoretically, the delay should be 0 for the bass shakers in the couch. However, the mini DSP imparts its own delay natively, which makes it very difficult to measure, to use any sort of room correction or anything, because no matter what, the part that should be 0 second delay, i.e. the bass shakers, is already, I don't know how many milliseconds, but.
What are you running for room correction again?
Well, I'm just using the built-in on my Onkyo.
Which is
crappy.
EQ?
EQ?
Yeah, right.
So basically, your bass shakers are not time aligned to the rest of your system?
Well, they can't be, because they're always going to have the delay that the mini DSP has natively.
Right. So there's just an inherent delay. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay, so what would happen if you ran your mini DSP with your bass shakers and your sub?
I do.
So they're both running on there. So when it adds a delay to your sub, typically what you want from the delays is you want the thing with the longest delay, right? to be 0, so everything will be delayed, in accordance to that thing, because you can't make something, faster, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So everything has to go after that point, right? So if your Onkyo is looking at the total system, so it doesn't know that you have many DSP there, right? So a lot of amplifiers in subwoofers actually add their own delay too, right? Because it's doing its own signal processing. A lot of these subs will have their own processing. So that's why you'll see that it'll detect something as further than it actually is, because there's extra delay. So it thinks it's further, right? So your Onkyo should be accounting for all the delays that mini DSP is putting in. Is it not?
But is it ever measuring the bass shakers? I mean, I intentionally elevate the mic so it's not being affected by the bass shakers.
Well, so you're saying, did you want the bass, your sub, and the bass shakers to be time aligned?
Well,
but they don't make sound.
Should be 0.
Well, the tricky thing is it goes based on sound, right? So it's time aligning based on what that microphone is capturing in sound, right? So if your bass shakers aren't making sound, which they kind of do, right? If you were to put that microphone right next to the seat, it's probably going to vibrate and think like, oh, there's a signal, right? So it just depends. Like, is it actually shaking? Do you have the microphone on the seat that's shaking? Because it might be actually looking at that and saying, oh, there's a signal.
No. I intentionally do not.
Maybe it might be a good idea to do that.
I wanted to hear my actual subwoofers and not the bass shakers.
I'm just wondering what kind of delay that you would have between your subwoofers and the bass shaker, right?
Well, the subwoofers are further away. The bass shakers are under my butt.
So they're closer to you.
The subwoofers are 8 feet away, whatever.
Right. So the further thing, right? Your subwoofer is further, which means that would be the most delayed thing. That would be.
I think it would be less delayed because it's got further to go.
So John John has said he actually has his set up through the mini DSP, and he said he needs to add delays to his bass shakers. If his subs are 8 feet away, then add 8 milliseconds of delay to the bass shakers.
Correct. So yeah, the further it is away, you think about it, right? Let's say you have those subs 80 feet away. That sound is going to take longer to get to you, right?
Right.
So you actually have to make when that finally gets to you, you want your bass shaker to hit at that same time.
So you're delaying the bass shakers on purpose.
You're delaying the bass shakers, the ones that are close to you.
Match the physical sound that's coming at you. I get you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Backwards, all on. Wait, now you got me all confused. I gotta think about it.
Hey, you know what? It's funny is I was doing this till 4 a.m. So it's fresh in my mind. I was doing the car audio, and so car audio is all over the place, right? You're so close to this speaker and so far from that speaker. It's like the worst case scenario. So yeah, you just got to think that the sound takes a while to travel to you versus the one is like pretty much connected to you, right? So you have to delay the one that's closest to you to equal the one that's furthest.
That's totally obvious. Yeah, you're totally right. I don't know why I was like completely. Oh, wait, okay.
I love that when that happens to me too. I love it when I'm like, what was I thinking? I love that when that happens.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I asked earlier about putting subwoofers up on my loft. I have real high ceilings, and I just I want to get the subwoofers off the floor because they're interfering with all sorts of stuff in my living room. If I can put them up high, that's no problem. Apparently, my question is sort of, I can of course measure and everything, but is there any direction? I mean, in theory, there's no directionality, but if I aim them up towards the ceiling, if I aim them backwards, forwards, up over my head, down towards the floor, I mean, is there anything there that I need to be considering?
Yeah, make sure you get in on the stud.
That's pretty much it. I think. I mean, I don't know.
Honest.
As far as sound, yeah, in theory, it shouldn't matter where the subwoofer is, whether it's on the ground. But then at the same time, like I think what Joe was saying earlier is that you might miss out on a little rumble.
Unless it's near the
ceiling. That's what I got the shakers for.
Oh, right. So
Um,
you are not missing out on any rumble. There you go.
Yeah. No, make sure it's safe up there. You know, it'd be fun.
Don't make it fall on you.
Throw it on the drywall, and just see how fast that comes down.
Yeah, my anchors didn't work. 60-pound figures, 30-pound figures.
It's a very solid ledge, I don't know. It's like a big deck,
like a big beam going across or something.
You can actually set it up on there.
Just imagine yourself.
Okay, so he's not talking about like mounting them. He's just talking about putting them in a kind of like a cutout. Putting it there. Yeah, so there's a floor that they're going to be sitting on, so he's going to be safe there.
Okay. The other thing I want to add to the bass shaker thing, one thing you might want to try is take your mic if you have a U mic 1 or something like that, and if you have REW, mess around with impulse response. There's a tab there that says impulse, which just it sounds out a quick like boop, right? And from there you can kind of get an idea what the delays are on your sub and your bass shaker. So actually, like, you know, touch the mic to the bass shaker, right?
Yeah.
And see when it receives that impulse, because it's mechanical, like Croson was saying, it might take some time to start up. You know, maybe not very much time. It'll probably be quick, but we don't know how much longer it'll take than it could be faster for all I know. I don't know, but check that out. Check out Impulse if you want to email us info. What is it? What is our email? info@daily.fi.
Yeah,
and we'll get back to you and kind of walk you through it and see if we can help you out there. But yeah, you might want to time align that. But you know what? The truth is, really, when it comes to bass, you're less sensitive to perfect time alignment. You know.
Well, this is the problem. Is that I noticed that I was feeling the kick in the couch at a different. There was a delay between the bass from the subwoofers, and it was annoying, and so I had to fix it.
Yeah. There's going to be a certain level where it's noticeable. But yeah, we'll get all that worked out. But check out Impulse Response on REW if you can, because that'll be a good way to test it out.
Yep. Thanks for that whole REW thing scares me. I've messed around with it, but hey, that'll be my next challenge.
Sounds good.
Good
it's all a learning curve, man. The good thing is there's a great communities out there, you know, to try to help you out and give you some advice, and so you're not alone in it.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Appreciate calling in.
Good evening.
I appreciate you. Take
Later.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, that's it. We're at an hour and a half. I think we had a pretty good time.
I did.
Always, man.
I don't know about anybody else.
I mean, why a thumbs down? Did we get a thumbs down? Oh, maybe we didn't answer their question. I don't know. You'd be surprised why people thumbs down a video.
Who knows? It's all good.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right. We're good. We're good. You know where to find us. We're pretty easy to access.
Mm-hmm. That's right. You know, youtube.com/JoeIntel, youtube.com/youthman, youtube.com/technodad. Boom. Yeah. So thank you very much, everybody. It was a great show. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you are new here, definitely subscribe to the channel. Yep. We would appreciate it.
We have Odyssey coming up soon. I don't know. We'll post that as soon as we get a specific date. Odyssey, Jeff Clark, and
we just booked FOMO for the 23rd.
Yep.
That's Thanksgiving week, isn't it? It's Thanksgiving. Oh, what's that going to be like?
7th or something. Yeah.
It's got to be. It's a Thursday, right? Thursday of that week. So Chris Winham with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. We totally appreciate it. Yes, it's great hanging out with all you guys. Croson, True Voice of Reason, Jeff Briggs, RGA. Is that Ike? Yeah, Ike's in here. Juan, thank you guys so much. We will see you. Who's doing an unboxing tomorrow of the Series X? I wish, dude. I had to secure my kids first, so I missed out. So I gotta wait like till whenever I can get my hands on one. But whatever.
When's his birthday? When's he get it?
Who, my kid?
His birthday? Yeah,
his birthday was in September. That's when I ordered it.
So just film him when he unboxes it.
He got the S. He wanted the Series S, not the X.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot.
Yeah. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm definitely gonna like see what it looks like when he turns it on for the first time, because I'm curious to see what the new console's about. But yeah, on behalf of myself, Michael, and Joseph, where did that come from? Yeah. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week, Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah. See you.
See you guys.
Have a good week, guys.